Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right, we'll wait for just a second and let people gather, but we're gonna be going through these notes, lads.
To those of you who have already cast your vote...
Shush! Oh, that is rough. That is really rough. I made some tea. The only honey we have is this hot spicy tea. Sorry. The only honey we have is hot spicy honey. And like, I knew it was a little spicy, but I mixed it in with a lot of tea, so I'm like, it won't be that bad. And then I just took a drink, and it's like drinking Tabasco sauce. That's fucked up. Hey, Lamb Sauce King, how you doing? Just letting people gather briefly. Briefly. Then we'll get going. Don't want to wait too long. A lot of people waiting around. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We made changes to various units across all factions, hit points, base weapon damage, recruitment cost of multiplayer, various other factors. Okay. Campaign stuff I'm largely going to skip over just because I'm not a very good campaign player. This is not I don't care about campaign. I just play campaign very casually, so I won't have much input or insight. I'll just be literally reading the patch to you, and that's not great content. That's boring for me. That's boring for a lot of people. You can read on your own. Right, I think what I mostly provide here is my opinion on how the changes will affect things, and once again, since I'm not any good at campaign, I don't have a lot of insight there, so we'll just gloss over those. If you're a campaign player, that's great. You might be better at campaign than me, so you might know more about these changes than I do. Like, this Ogre Kingdoms mercenary recruitment rework, I fucking never recruit ogres mercenaries. Like, I just don't. When I'm playing high elves and I run across some ogres, I'm like, neat, and I save my money and buy some more spears instead. Like, so I don't interact with the system, so I don't care that they increase the ogre mercenary cap per army from 1 to 3. It's not my cup of tea, so I don't have a lot to say. So there's some kind of mercenary work. Looks like they're just trying to get more ogres out there into the world. Not that I've noticed a lot of ogre mercenaries around, so that's fine. You becoming a campaign streamer? Nah, dude. Is this the new notes or the old ones? This is the new ones. The ones that just came out now. Ogre Kingdom's got a new bounty system. Whoa. We plan to release a large rework for the Ogre Kingdoms in the next DLC patch, along with mercenary contracts for Golgfag Maneater. Interesting. So they're just refreshing the current contract and bounty system you have, but that's fun. New magic items. Generic magic items. So none of these affect multiplayer, which is my bag. So there they are. Whee! I don't really know what that matters. Whee! More of them! Research overflow, pass. I kind of honestly assumed that was already a thing. Movement range display. Okay. Disciple army confirmation. I've never used a disciple army in my life. Battle, new unit Graveguard Halberds. There's a lot of discussion about this unit. Depends on what's in the vampire count section, how I feel about it. If the vampire counts are unchanged, then their main form of gameplay right now is either having your lord solo carry your entire army or forming a blob. In which case, getting armor-piercing anti-large halberds just makes their blob stronger, and that's less fun. So, if nothing else changes, less fun. Now, the positive is, I was actually excited about this unit when it got announced, and here's why. When I like to play vampire counts, the biggest thing that bothers me is when I take Blood Knights and the Red Duke, which is my favorite army, just for fun. It's not actually that good. But I'll take the Red Duke on his horse, and then Blood Knights to support him as kind of this, like, I'm going to win the flanks goon squad, and I have some dogs to, like, compromise the back line. And then the enemy just forms a blob. It's really obnoxious. My only anti-large punishing is skeleton spears, which are okay, but not amazing. So Unfortunately, it strengthens a vampire count's blob, so I hope they get some buffs to stop them from blobbing. But it does also counter Daemons of Chaos and Nurgle blobs that they love to take into vampire counts. So it depends whether I'm excited or not for this unit. But honestly, free unit, I'll take it. No one had to pay for it. It should have been in the game already. So big ups. I like that. Like the Orc Spear Boys, I appreciate free units getting thrown out. Not really going to complain there. Oh boy. For 5.3, we have updated the following battle maps. We continue reworking maps to remove or replace tree clusters with more natural looking forests. Oh, fuck. No. Well, maybe no. Shit, I'm gonna have to look at some of our maps. Damn it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll have to look at maps and see which of them, if the forests got shifted around, if they're worse now. Okay. I mean, I appreciate map changes, that's fine. It's just, I'm just lazy. Ooh, they're showing us some of them. Okay. Before. After. That's more trees! I don't want more trees! No! Damn it! Before or after, that's less trees. Flats of Kislev, that's more trees! You put in more trees, you bastards! Fucking with my maps. Can you go back to Beastmen real quick? We haven't even gotten to the Beastmen. Bug fixes, crashes and stuff, so that hasn't been that huge for me. Fix an issue where certain playable factions can't be revived through rebellions. Okay, so that's good. Campaign AI should now use certain mechanics less frequently to align with intended design, including the Book of Grudges, States of Matter, Call of Magic, and Malachi's Adventures. Dude, if the campaign AI would not constantly be in WoW, that's all I really want. Fuck the Greenskins. I don't know about you guys, but every time I play, any Greenskin I run into is in WoW, and it's just permanent. I've never seen a Greenskin army without WoW. Okay. Settlements fixed an issue, addressed an overlap, resolved an issue, resolved UI. I don't have anything to say about that. Okay. Okay. Ambush armies have treated. Oh boy, has a lot of campaign fixes, which is great because this is mostly a campaign game, but I have nothing to add. Environment, fix an asset, Black Sword Fortress Siege map. With assets and terrain, okay. Multiplayer, Galbra's Conquest map where water did not apply the shallow water terrain effect. That's fine. Doc Karaz got water effects. That's it. Okay. Okay, multiplayer battles. On to the good shit. We've made some small but impactful changes multiplayer this time around. Special thanks to our multiplayer community who guides our hands as we try and make the game as best it can possibly be. Yeah! I've been talking to them a lot. I know they're not just talking to me. There's a lot of multiplayer creators that are doing that, but we have been talking to them a ton. Please, I have no thumbs. Can you go back to the beginning? No! Alright. To combat we've received several reports from community members about several cheesy single-entity focused army builds that have been circulating. We're looking at you, Kislev single-entity heal blob. Holy shit! Pigman 202 solo got an entire build banned. To combat that, we've introduced a new unit cap called Single-Entity Characters, Monsters, and War Machines. So the maximum single entities you can have is 5. Cool. We hope this new cap will promote more healthy army compositions. It's largely what we use in our tournaments, so that's cool. It's good that it's finally in quick battles. I think the race bounces are another post. That's not great. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out when we get there. Conquest. The default ticket limit is increased to 650, so games will be a little bit longer. And now all the maps are in the map pool. Okay. No domination changes. Land battles aren't even mentioned, so that's fine. As ever, thanks to our exalted creators, as well as Catholic Alcoholic. For the shifting multiplayer stuff, for anyone missed our note at the start of today's update, due to a formatting issue on the website, we need to separate out some of the more nuanced details. Be sure to check the complete list of changes here. Okay. Deal with that in a second. Encourage. Weird. So +4 leadership for encourage from all heroes and lords. That's odd. I don't know why that wasn't uniform across the thing. Then here's the biggest one they're trying to do this patch. Chariot mass is getting evened out. So now if you are a small chariot on any roster, you're getting 1,000 mass. If you're a monstrous chariot on any roster, you get 2,000 mass. If you're a monstrous single-ended chariot, you get 3,000 mass. So they gave Cetra a little bit more mass. Flying charge speed changes is also pretty huge. Flying units would slow down when they're trying to charge at things, and they don't anymore. It makes them more consistent at running down units on the ground that are routing, but it also just improves their behavior in the air. That's cool. And then known issues. All units that have the collision type capsule of a problem or missiles can pass through the top 5-10% of their collision box and deal no damage. Oh, so these aren't things they're fixing, they just know about them. Articulated units such as chariots can be hit multiple times by projectiles, so that's still there. And a unit docked onto a wall is also partially docked onto a gatehouse. Okay, that's fine. So what's this? Here are the faction-specific changes. How's the patch looking, Twist? I just got onto the faction-specific stuff, so we'll see. General Gotrek got 50 gold off his cost. That's fine. Gotrek is annoying, but he's not actually that good. Beastmen! Beastmen are currently very, very strong. Let's see if they got buffs or nerfs. Bloodbrute Behemoth, Arwar Gorgon got 20 more armor. Shrug. Centaur's Tzeentch got 100 gold cost increase, which they really needed because they were very strong. Pestigor's 25 gold cost increase, -4 melee attack, -10 armor. Good. Pestigors are very, very, very intense. I think with even these changes, Pestigors will still be super meta. They're going to be in every matchup that you could take them in. Cheap armor piercing, they're still very tanky. And that little passive they have, that like minus vigor and -75% speed if something routes near them, that's insanely strong. So you'll still see a lot of Pestigors. Razorgore Chariot's got some damage buffs plus the Chariot changes, so that's a double buff for them. Pestigor herds. Oh, Pestigor is like these super elite guys. Okay. 2 charge speed, 2 run speed, 4 charge bonus. Bestigors are back, baby! So fucking overpowered. No, they have 4 more charge bonus. No, Bestigors are still gonna be trash. Centaur's 50 gold cost increase. Centaur's Grey Opens 50 gold cost increase. That's actually pretty tough because a lot of Beastmen builds take like 4 Centaurs, so that's 200 gold off your whole build. God, I forgot my tea was so spicy. Holy shit. Okay. Cygors slight increase their explosion radius, so their rocks will do more damage to more units around the impact point. Korok's Man Rippers got the charge and charge speed stuff changes the other thing did. Eye of More Sleep get a bit more damage across the board for its missile. So minor buffs to some of the struggling units on the Beastmen, minor nerfs to some of their overperforming units. But Centaur's Tzeentch getting a 100 gold cost increase, and then Centaur's getting a 50 gold cost increase, reduces a lot of the more abusive Beastmen builds, so I don't think they're dead, but it's a good tap. It's a tap against their power, but it's not going to take them out of the meta. Thanks, Jocks. Bretonnia. Grail Guardians, minus about 400 HP. Questing Knights, +2 base weapon damage, so who cares? Hippogriff Knights, minus about 400 HP. Peasant Mobs, 25 more gold. Grail Knights, minus about 400, 500 HP. And the Companions of Quinel's, a bit more base damage. So, looks like Grail Knights and Grail Guardians are taking about 500 gold to hit. And there is something I was warned about, so I'm going to scroll ahead because it's important for this. We'll get down to these later, but I know about one I wanted to share with you. Regrowth. The vigor per second it went from -5% to -1% per tick. So they get 20% of the vigor back they used to. 20%. Now that paired with these nerfs, Bretonnia is in a rough spot. Now you might be like, Human Boy, shut up. Grail units have perfect vigor. Yeah. I'm not talking about that. Grail units lost about 400, 500 HP across the board. And then any of their other units that use regrowth, like, I don't think Lewin has perfect vigor. I think he still, for some reason, doesn't. Alberic doesn't have perfect vigor, I don't think. Base Knights don't have perfect vigor. So regrowth is not going to bring any of those units back to perfect vigor. And then your Grail Knights lost 400 HP. The other two wins of magic options for Bretonnia are still pretty bad. So Bretonnia actually took some nerfs here. I'm getting yelled at for the perfect vigor thing. I know about the perfect vigor thing. I'm talking about, like, the overall roster relies on regrowth so heavily that when regrowth gets nerfed and your Grail Knights get nerfed, that's actually a pretty big nerf. I don't think that they'll be like garbage, but I actually think that might push them out of like top tier play. They'll be kind of a counter pick faction, you know? I don't think they'll be in contention for like top 5 in the game. Chaos Dwarves! Alright, Hobgoblin Wolf Raiders got more range, and then the ROR got less cost and more range. It's 10 more range, but still a bit more. Demonsmith Sorcerer is a little cheaper. Lamasu mounts overall got 800 health, it looks like. Trying to make them a little bit tankier, because Lamasus were just too squishy to really bother with. Hobgoblin Archers got a range increase. Orc Labor is 50 gold off. Ooh, that's actually a little spooky. 250 gold for armor-piercing, super cheap chaff, but they're still, like, they're garbage units, so I think they're worth 250 gold, but that actually might make me consider taking them over goblins. Lamasu base just got 25% spell resistance. This change also applies to all Lamasu mounts. Okay, so every Lamasu mount gets 25% spell resistance. That definitely puts them in contention for taking. Bale Tauruses do a lot more damage. They're just better aggressive mounts, but the Lamasu might be a better defensive mount now with more hit points and 25% spell resist. It's actually nuts. Cathay Destroyer got collision attacks. Good. Dreadquake Mortar. What? Whoa! Whoa! Holy shit! The Dreadquake Mortar got 200 gold off, but the Iron Demon Dreadquake Mortar mount got 400 gold off. The Demon's Tongue Dreadquake Mortar got 400 gold off, and the Skullcracker Dreadquake Mortar got 400 gold off. They are trying to push the Dreadquake Mortar. Holy shit. Did they buff the size of Grease's gut? We're gonna find out, dude. We're gonna find out. That's hilarious. So the Chaos Dwarves actually got a lot of buffs. None of the buffs are big. Like 10 range on bows is pretty whatever, but they got a lot of small buffs. And then the Dreadquake Mortar, 400 gold, is actually a pretty big buff for that unit. That's funny. Demons of Chaos. Alright. Demons of Chaos finally got the Demon Prince of Khorne, Nurgle, Slaanesh, and Tzeentch. The regular Demon Prince got moved to the extended roster. Arkalux, Prince of Fury, got moved to the extended roster. Ah, damn, because he was so strong, you guys. Arkalux was so good. Where's the link to this? This. And then Caress the Darkling Prince got 200 gold off. That's actually not bad. Dark Elves. Doomfire Warlocks, 100 gold off. Ooh. Ooh, that's actually pretty strong. Okay. Crone Hellebrand, single player recruitment cost. She has a recruitment cost in single player? Okay, whatever. Single player, so nothing is changing about Hellebrand in multiplayer yet. Cauldron of Blood, 50 gold off the top for multiplayer. Her Manticore lost 150 gold. Ooh. That's actually quite a lot. I don't know if that makes her meta, but damn. Bloodrack Shrine, 200 gold off. That is definitely viable now. I was already using the Bloodrack Shrine in a couple matchups. For fun, I don't think it's like the best, but I was already using it versus factions with low ranged pressure, so 200 gold off might actually make it like viable versus those factions. Cold One Knights, 500 more health, less melee attack, more melee defense. Interesting. So they thought Cold One Knights weren't tanky enough. I don't know if I agree, but I guess it's not that bad of a change. Canadian Assassin lost 50 gold off the top, and Scourge Runner Chariot Mount, Scourge Runner Harpoon Gunners now deal more damage to account for the fact they are a single entity. So that's for like Rakarth and the Beastmaster. I suspect they're still going to be ass, but we'll see. Mr. Casual, oh, I can always start over. Skipping over the 100 gold bust. I said it was pretty big. I said that's impactful. Anyway. For Dwarfs, oh, please, big nerfs. Demon Slayer, 5 melee attack, 5 melee defense taken off. Dragon Slayer, same treatment, so a little less melee stats for those guys. Thunder Barge, plus 200 gold. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, we did it! Thunder Barge is dead! It's dead forever! No one's gonna take this overpowered unit because it's 200 gold! Ugh. No, that is an inconsequential buff. Thunder Barge is still gonna terrorize quick battle, and it's gonna be banned in all of our tournaments still. It's fucking obnoxious. Honestly, one of the big problems is the Spear of Grugny on the front. It just, like, not the Spirit of Grugny, the Spear of Grugny, that, like, one-shots lords. That thing's messed up. I'll keep petitioning CA to just make it prohibitively expensive, man. Like, I don't know. Just leave it as, like, a single-player unit. In multiplayer, make it legitimately cost like 4,500 or 5,000 gold and just be done with it, because it is so bad for multiplayer. It's fine as a campaign for fun, haha unit. Love it. Keep it in campaign. I don't give a fuck. But in multiplayer, it's like impossible to balance a unit like that. Bolt throwers. So bolt throwers were really, really strong last patch when they got more models. They're losing a bunch of crew, going from 64 to 56. They lose almost 2,000 hit points. Like 1,600 hit points are taken off of them. Damn, that's a lot. And then their base reload time is increased by about 30%. 25. Whatever. So yeah, 25% longer reload. Lost about 1,500 HP. Lost some crew entity. They are definitely trying to hit those guys. While you were talking to them anyway, maybe mention the Changeling. Fine. Iron Drakes, minor buff to the ROR's range. Rangers with great weapons. The armor-piercing Rangers got a 50 gold cost decrease. That's fine. Rangers were trash. Flame Cannons, more range. It's fine. They were trash. Thane got 50 gold cost increase. That's fine. Hero Hammer's kind of lame. Quarrelers with great weapons got 25 gold off the top. That's fine. They were generally trash. Gyrocopters. Alright, here are the nerfs for them. No more firewall moving. Good. Ammo of primary missile weapon lost 5 out of... They lost a sixth of their ammo. So they have a sixth less ammo. They lost about a quarter of their melee damage. They lost half of their explosion damage on their shots. And they lost a third of their armor-piercing explosion damage. Damn, that is a lot of nerfs for the Gyrocopters. And good, fuck them. The Brimstone gun versions, the shitty ones, got less melee weapon damage, a bit more ammo on their primary gun, so they'll probably still be meh. Gyro Bomb. Alright. Gyro Bombers lost firewall moving, and then a bunch of heroes that you can't take a multiplayer anyway got some missile blockchains. The Empire! So the Empire is, like, undisputed. Ryan G, what up? $2, thanks. Thanks, brother. Hazel is very upset about something. What's going on with the pup? Okay. Grace seems to have it handled. Demigryph Knights, 500 more hit points, 5 more leadership. That's fine. Demigryph Knights aren't taking a lot. Their Halberd variant got the same treatment, but then 4 more melee defense, 2 more damage, armor piercing, and minus 50 gold. That's a lot of buffs for Demigryph Knights with Halberds, which, to be fair, they're a pretty underused unit. They're not very good. Royal Altdorf Gryphites are used sometimes, but honestly, all of them kind of struggle, so that's fine buffs. Royal Altdorf Gryphites got a similar treatment. The Stubborn Bulls, which aren't in multiplayer, so I'm going to skip them. Herwig isn't in multiplayer, so I'm going to skip them. Archers got more range and better calibration distance. Deathjack's got the same treatment. Volkmar the Grim got double his armor-piercing damage and 50% more base weapon damage. That is a lot of damage added to him. Holy shit. So his weapon strength on his War Altar of Sigmar went from 240 to 400 total. Tattered Souls got +1 melee attack. Reiksguard got 50 gold off the top. And the Steam Tank and Landship can no longer fire in melee, and their collision has been altered, so it's now possible to hit them in the rear. We'll see if that actually matters, but I doubt it. So, Royal Altar of Sacrifice got Glorious Charge. Holy fuck! Chaotic Blizzard, I missed that! They got Glorious Charge? No! What the shit, man? That's crazy! Glorious Charge is the Kislev thing that made all their cavalry redonkulous. You get a leadership... there's a leadership penalty if you get charged in the rear. Glorious Charge applies that leadership penalty even if you get charged from the front. And it makes your charge bonus last twice as long. It is the Kislev charge ability. Oh my fucking god. Okay. I gotta say, I kind of hate this. Dwarves, overall, their heroes got nerfed. A unit that we ban in tournaments anyway got nerfed. And bolt throwers got nerfed. And gyrocopters got nerfed. And then a bunch of their garbage units got buffed. So that's fine. The dwarf section was honestly fine. The Empire section pisses me off a little bit. Hi, Catholic alcoholic. So, Demigryph Knights and Demigryph Knights and Halberds were definitely struggling. They were struggling, so they deserve buffs. Archers deserve buffs. They've been struggling. Volkmar deserves buffs. He's been struggling. Like, all that stuff. Reiksguard deserve buffs. They've been struggling. But, like, they didn't tone down the Empire at all. Hochland long rifles are still insanely strong. Knights of the Black Rose are still insanely strong. Elspeth von Draken is still insanely strong. Like, the Steam Tank and Landship, we'll see how much these changes matter, but I extremely doubt it will change them. Because, like, I'm looking at it and you can't fire while in melee. I'll believe it when I see it, but I think if you give movement orders, you're not technically melee, even if you're currently getting hit. And collision has been altered, so it's now possible to hit it in the rear. Okay, but no Chariot in this game ever gets hit while it's, like, moving. So if the Steam Tank and Landship keep doing what they normally do and just roll through units all the time, they're going to keep firing, they're never going to get hit. So really, nothing about the Empire got nerfed. They got buffed, and they were, besides the Dwarves, like, debatably the best faction in the game, and they just got buffs. God fucking damn it. I hate this Empire section. And again, I kind of get it. I kind of get it that, like, that's the credit I'll give them. They buffed bad units, right? They didn't buff anything that was currently strong, but the faction as a whole needed some serious tuning down, and it got buffs. Ugh. I hate it. So you're probably still never going to see Empire in a multiplayer land battle or conquest stream because they get banned all the time by players because they're so fucking strong. But whatever. Moving on. Cathay. Celestial. Whoa. The Jade Longma causes fear. Okay. That's interesting. I guess it's just for the Celestial General. Astromancer on his Moonbird. This is how little I know about the Moonbird, is apparently the hero Astromancer had a mount for it, which I've never seen. 100 gold off the top of it, 100 gold for the regular Moonbird. Jade Lions and Jet Lions got more armor-piercing damage, but just a little bit. Yeah. Greenskins. Grom the Paunch. So Grom got his ratios flipped and increased. So his armor piercing used to be 140, now his base weapon damage is 150. And his base weapon damage used to be 290, now his armor piercing is 320. So he got a damage buff, and most of it is armor piercing. And then his splash attack, knockback, force multiplier went up, but I honestly couldn't tell you what that implies, so I'm just going to move past it. Rogue Idol, less entities hit by splash attack, which usually means it can kill more of them quicker. The Biggin is the same, also got magic attacks, and its rock does a bit more damage when thrown. Feral Wyvern got 300 gold off the top. That was very much needed. Feral Wyverns were far too expensive for what they provided. 8 Peak Loons. Yeah! Let's go! Best change of the whole patch. Best change of any patch. I take the 8 Peak Loons in pretty much every single build, and the fact that they are 35 gold at the end is toxic. It's so awful. Hold on. Orc Boys, 425. Yeah! Best patch in the whole fucking world! Yeah, Hazel! best patch. Greenskin costs were so stupid because 735 and 430 for Orc Boys always fucked you up. It always fucked up your builds to get like to a nice even 0 gold spend because you'd have like 10 or 20 left over because of the fucking 30s and 35s sprinkled. Yeah! That's awesome! I'm so excited for that. Let's go. 10 gold off the 8 peak loons, 5 gold off the Orc Boys, but it's just a nice rounded number. Azhag, that's huge. Azhag lost 150 gold off Skullmuncha, and the Orc Warboss lost 150 as well, but Azhag actually might become the de facto meta lord. He was already pretty strong, but it was hard to pass up the Night Goblin Warboss with his Rampage and the net, but 150 gold off the top for Azhag is actually pretty good. Alright, Greenskins, I love their changes. That's great. It's funny we went from Empire, where I was just bitching constantly, to Greenskins was just awesome. 25 is not a round number, but you should. Shush. Hi, Elves. Phoenix Guard. ITP. Yes! Oh, good change. Phoenix Guard not having ITP was really stupid. really, really stupid. Debate, like... Okay, High Elves are in a good spot, and Unbreakable Halberds are toxic for the game. But, like, debatably, Phoenix Guard should be unbreakable. So at least make them ITP. Because the Phoenix Guard, if you don't know about them at all, to get inducted into the order, they get shown how they die, and then they lose the ability to speak. So it's crazy they would terror out. Like, I know this thing is going to kill me, and I've known it for hundreds and hundreds of years. I'm gonna run away! No, they don't run. They just accept their fate and die. Like, that's their whole shtick. So, now again, Unbreakable Halberds would be toxic for the game. I'm not advocating for it, but them terror routing was objectively stupid, so I'm glad they got ITP. That is fantastic. Keepers of the Flame immune to contact effects. That's fine. I don't really have an opinion on it. Eltharion lost 50 gold on Stormwing. Nice. Teclis got 20 armor-piercing damage on his Arcane Phoenix. That's fine. I think Teclis' Arcane Phoenix's problem is that it's far too expensive. Not that it doesn't do enough damage. Like, buffs are buffs. His Arcane Phoenix mount needs some help. But I think they're going the wrong direction. Like, if you just put Teclis on his Arcane Phoenix, the price point is absolutely insane, man. Oh my god, that tea is so spicy. What the fuck? Rangers got 2 more damage and 1 more armor-piercing damage. That's okay. Arcane Phoenix got the same treatment as Teclis' mount. Same with the Omen of Assyrian. War Lions of Krace, +2 bonus versus infantry. Boom, OP. Lion Chariots of Krace got some serious damage buffs, and with the Chariot changes, that is a double buff. We'll see if they're actually good or not. Cough Cough Council Guard. At least you can only take 1 Council Guard. Tyrannok Chariots got a little more missile damage. Woo. Flamespire Phoenix, more damage overall. Frostguard Phoenix, more damage armor piercing. So they're really trying to get the Phoenixes to do something. Khorne! That is a big Khorne section. Okay, Exalted Hero of Khorne, less melee attack. Good, nerf Khorne, OP, fuck Khorne. Lost melee attack on their Chaos Steed, lost melee attack on their Juggernaut. Good, fuck Khorne. Herald of Khorne on his Blood Throne. Ooh, plus, like, he got a 3rd weapon damage across the spectrum overall added. That's nice. Less bonus for infantry, but whatever. A little less splash attack. Okay, I like the Herald of Khorne. He does need a little bit of buffs just to compete with Scarbrand and Valkia. Blood Reaper, that's the hero, got the same treatment. Blood Shrine of Khorne, got more damage, more bonus versus infantry. Okay, Blood Shrine of Khorne is fine. Skull Cannon got the same treatment, so all of the motorcycle mounts got like an update and got a little more damage, so they're a little more imposing in melee. That's good. That's good. Bloodroot Behemoth, we saw it in the Beastmen section, but he got 20 more armor. Gorebeast Chariots of Khorne got the double buffs, and I honestly don't think the Gorebeast Chariots were that bad in live, so we'll see if it helps. And by double buffs, I mean way earlier in the stream, we were talking about CA increased chariot mass for a lot of chariots and normalized them, so Gorebeast might be good. Who knows? Forsaken plus 600 HP. Bloodthirster, more bonus versus large, more armor piercing. Minotaur's got 50 gold cost increase. Not the great weapons, just the regulars. And then Khorne's Bloody Fist got the same treatment as the regular Bloodthirster, so all in all, some decent buffs for Khorne. Not like amazing, but some of their infantry like the Forsaken that was just lagging way behind all of their Khorne infantry might be okay now. I don't know. I think they need more melee defense, but whatever. Not a ton, but just a bit. Because don't they have like legitimately like 17 melee defense? Skull Cannon leaves a vortex on its shot. Interesting. I don't think that'll matter too much, but... Do you have a link to these? I posted before. Let's see if it's still in my copy-paste. Yep, there it is. Kislev! Tsarina Katerin on her Ice Court sled reduced some of its speed. Yeah, that's gonna fix everything. Kislev Warriors plus 25 gold. It's fine. Yeah. Frostworm added collision attacks plus 50 gold cost increase. That's... The Frostworm itself isn't taking much, but it's taken as a mount for Katerin and the Ice Witch a bit, so that actually might be pretty strong. Things in the Woods plus 75 gold. Ooh, that's actually a pretty big nerf. Damn, 75 gold for Things in the Woods. Horse Archers plus 50 gold. Costified Dervishes plus 50 gold. Heavy War Sleds. Oh, they actually might be dead. They actually might be dead. Plus 100 gold, and now they went from very large to large. So they're not going to be able to path through infantry crazy strong. They're actually going to get stuck a lot. And you think large sounds like huge, but... fuck, that was on the other page. Like, Cetra on his Chariot of the Gods was large, and he got stuck in infantry all the time. So now, like, heavy war sleds and light war sleds aren't going to be able to just through infantry constantly. Elemental Bears got collision attacks. Big who cares. Oathbros of Torf plus 50 gold. And then that's about it. But yeah, damn, Kislev took some nerfs. They were very, very strong, so I think they deserved it. I don't know if this takes them out of the top tier, but it might bring them below Empire. Kislev Warriors are crucial to their builds, and now they're more expensive. Things in the Woods are way more expensive, and they were very crucial builds. All the cheap cavalry got increases, and both the war sleds took serious nerfs. So yeah, Kislev got punched right in the eye for this patch. I still think they'll be top tier. I don't know if this makes them S- or A+, but I think it takes them out of like the S range. Lizardmen, all Carnosaur and Ripperdactyl units are now get Primal Instincts. Primal Instincts is when you fall below half HP, you get like physical resistance and melee attack. Is Kislev dead? No. They're still going to be A+ or S-. Alright, Red Crested Skinks. These guys are trash, so they need some serious buffs. Minus 50 gold, good start. Plus 1 melee defense, plus 4 charge bonus, plus 3 damage overall. Not bad. It's not a bad start, honestly. So, nice. Red Crested Skinks. Cohort of Sotek got similar changes, so moving on. Lord Croak, minus 50 gold. OP. Gorok, minus 200 gold. Nice. You're still never going to see Gorok, but that's a good start. Nikai! Campaign. But he did get 10% more missile resistance. He has Vanguard. I don't know if he had Vanguard before, and he causes Terror, which I don't know if he did before. Woodsman's also nice, because Nikai can actually fight in trees now. Shredder of Lustria, plus 100 gold. That's fine. Fuck that thing. Skink Oracle, minus 100 gold. That's nice. I like having that caster option, but he is a little spency, so that's good. Quaddle's got collision attacks. That could be huge. Depends on how their collision attacks go, so that's nice. Feral Troglodyte got 50 gold off the top. Krokgar got 200 gold off on all of his mounts. Ooh, that could change some things. We do see Krokgar from time to time, because Hand of the Gods got some serious buffs. Who's messaging right now? Okay. I'll drag it to the other screen so you can't see it, but he's in the chat right now, so I want to see what he's talking about. Alright. Yeah, Krokgar gets taken from time to time for his Hand of the Gods, so actually bringing him down in cost is kind of gigantic. Soros Old Blood got a similar treatment to Krokgar, so they're just trying to make their melee duelist lord types a little more viable. Feral Carnosaur, 50 gold off the top, but you have to remember he also got Primal Instinct, so Feral Carnosaur under half HP gets plus 5 melee attack and plus 5 physical resistance. So that's a double Feral Carnosaur buff. I don't think we'll see them, but I am noting you could see them. Could. Norsca! Let's see. Ooh! Ooh, that's a long list. Okay, maybe Norsca's back, baby. Maybe. We'll see. Wolfric on his War Mammoth. Minus 100 gold. Increased charge speed. Take it. Marauder Berserkers plus charge bonus and plus walk speed. Hazel, we're back in business! Berserker's a 2-speed faster, Hazel! Holy shit! That's not a thing. That doesn't matter. Chaos Frost Dragon, minus 100 gold. It's fine. Cold Voider, plus 100 gold. And it got Frenzy. And ignore contact effects. That's probably smart. The Cold Voider for only 100 gold more than the Chaos Frost Dragon was a no-brainer. Like, you would literally always take it. So, I like the cost differential. And I actually do really like that they gave it some buffs with the cost increase. So that now, because, like, if they left it alone and just increased its cost by 100 and decreased the other's cost by 100, it would go the other way, where now there's, like, no fucking reason to take the Cold Voider over the Chaos Frost Dragon. Now it's like, okay, do you want this more expensive thing, but it is significantly better in melee? That's nice. That's actually a good change. Good job, CA. Pharaoh Mammoth, minus 50 gold. Who cares? War Mammoth, minus 100 gold. Charge speed of plus 4. Who cares? Mammoth of the War Shrine, minus 100 gold. Okay. Great Maw Herd of the Blood Fjord. It's not takeable in multiplayer, but whatever. Marauder Ice Wolf Chariots, armor-piercing missile damage got doubled, and its base missile damage got doubled. So double missile damage for that thing. We'll see if it's any good. Okay, Marauders with Great Weapons, minus 25 gold. Brutes of the Hound, minus 50 gold. And then, 20 armor is actually not terrible for them. That's fun. Soul Crusher got minus 100 gold. And then these guys are the special characters, so... Overall, some decent buffs for Norsca here, honestly. Your front line got cost decreased a little bit. Mammoths got buffed. I still think Norsca is going to be struggling, but not terrible. Nurgle! Chaos Lord of Nurgle with his Rot Beast. Okay, all the Rot Beasts got 600 mass. Got it. That's actually a lot of mass. And the Rot Beast was already a good mount. Cool. Exalted Hero of Nurgle lost 10 melee attack. Wow, I guess they're sick of the Nurgle Hero Hammer. That's a lot of melee attack to take from him. Damn. Marauders Nurgle lost 25 gold, so that's a buff. Chaos Warriors Nurgle with Great Weapons lost 25 gold, which is also a buff. Angels of Decay got double charge bonus. Rot Knights, plus 5 leadership, plus 20 armor, and then 300 empty mass. That's actually a big buff for the Rot Knights, and they needed it. I think they've been struggling really hard. Rotting Riders got similar treatment overall. Wouldn't piss on the Norsca changes if they were on fire. Months looking into it with players and Catholic for that joke, missing Mammoth jank fix. I'm sorry, Miguel, but thank you so much for the donation. Tarmakan on Bubulos. That's his Toad Dragon. He got collision attacks on his Toad Dragon. Oh, 300 gold off the top. That is actually really huge. And his turn speed got 50% increased. So he can turn a lot faster, less splash attacks, 300 gold off, and collision attacks. That's a lot of buffs to Tamarcon. They really want him to be relevant. Toad Dragon got collision attacks and then less entities hit by splash attack. Pestigor's got the nerfs we saw in the Beastmen area. Rot Flies, Plague Drones all got the charge bonus increase. Death's Head did. Exalted Grand and Clean One got 1,000 more HP and half his splash attack reduced, so he... Usually splash attack is better to not have. Forsaken of Nurgle, 700 hit points. A regular Great Unclean One also got 1,000 hit points. And Uncle Frunkle got the 1,000 hit points. So, some decent Nurgle buffs here. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's also buffing some stuff that we don't see a lot of. It's not like just buffing their Hero Hammer. Ogre Kingdoms. All right, guys, it's time for a long section. Buckle up. Greasus Goldtooth, 100 gold off the top. He's it, baby. He's the best in the whole game. Never mind, he's still fucking garbage. He's garbage. His turn speed is way too slow. There's a lot of problems with his model where I can't define it because I'm not that smart, but I know that I have seen him sit and do literally nothing while people beat him up, and he just can't swing back. There are duels he gets in where it feels like he's not in contact with the opponent, like a Gorgon will be swinging at him and he'll just kind of like try and roll forward to get to it, but he's already in melee contact with it and he just won't swing. I don't know. It's not that he always does it, it's just he has enough jank in him that he's not even a reliable duelist. And then he's still like a meh duelist. I don't know. Greasus sucks, dude. Skaven! Ickclaw and his Doomflayer got almost double his mass on his Doomflayer. That's part of the Chariot rework, where they're trying to make all of the Chariots the same. Plus 10 bonus for his infantry on his Doomflayer. Plus 1 base damage, minus 1 armor piercing to get them on nice 5s. Okay. You don't usually see him on his Doomflayer, but... okay. I don't think Ikit needed buffs in any capacity. His Doom Wheel is 200 gold more expensive. It got more damage and it got more mass. So it's more expensive, but they did some of that Chariot rounding out stuff. Interesting. So it's kind of a side grade. I mean, he got a bunch of damage, but he also got 200 gold on the top. So Ikit's Doom Wheel isn't actually worse. It's just kind of different. Doomflayer definitely got a buff. Warlock and Master got the same treatment. Blightscab's Plague Pack plus 4 melee attack and melee defense. It's not their biggest problem. Their biggest problem is getting burning headed and instantly dying. Doomflayers, minus 5 melee attack, minus 5 base weapon damage, minus 10 armor piercing weapon damage, plus 9 bonus versus infantry, and then almost double entity mass. That's honestly probably a Doomflayer's buff. That honestly is probably a Doomflayer buff. Almost double mass on a Chariot is like the biggest thing you care about. Has it dropped? No. It probably comes out tomorrow, but no, patch hasn't dropped yet. Anyway, Chariot's the biggest thing you want is mass, and their mass got like doubled. Base Doom Wheel got the similar change to Ikit's mount, where it got 100 more mass and a bunch more damage. That's fine. Regular Doom Wheels were ass, so good buffs for them. Throt the Unclean, 200 gold off! Yeah, let's go! Oh boy! Holy shit! Okay, I know I've been memeing a bunch when like something barely changes and then I go, it's back. Throt's fucking back! 400 gold off his Brood Horror mount? He is so cheap. Holy shit! Throt's in. Throt's in, baby! That's gonna be huge. That's actually going to be huge. Throt's been garbage in Warhammer 3 because on his Brood Horror he doesn't have anti-large, which he does on foot. And then on his Brood Horror is also just insanely expensive. So you saw in Turin's Faction War, I took a Warlord on a Brood Horror, right? When I just wanted a cheap, self-healing, fast Lord that I could annoy the enemy with and retreat when I need healing, Throt was never in contention because he's crazy expensive. But Throt's in. Throt is huge in. His AoE buff's fine. Creature Killer, it's fine. It's not great, but his Rat Ogre summon is amazing. So if he's nice and cheap, I don't think you'll see the Warlord anymore. I think you'll see Throt. That's going to be huge. Mutant Rat Ogre, less splash attacks, which is probably good. Plague Monk Sensor Bear's got the same change as the Plague Pack, and Doom Wheel got the same change we saw before. Slaanesh! Slaanesh is struggling real bad. Let's see what changed with them. Heartseekers got more damage and more charge bonus. That's fine. Hellstriders, minus 25 gold. Probably good. They're kind of bad. You need them, but they're kind of bad. How did the faction war go? Good. I had a really fun and good game versus Dark Age Rush's Cathay. It was super close. And then I had a bullshit-ass game against Alfredino's Empire, where I was doing really well until Elspeth breath attacked Ikit one time and literally fucking killed him from across the map. That was fun. But the first game was really fun, and the second game was just Empire being bullshit. It wasn't like Alfredino's fault or anything. Alright, moving on. Sorry, I got distracted by a question. Aluris on a Seeker Chariot. Over doubled damage. And then more bonus versus infantry. Exalted Seeker Chariot, not doubled damage. Splash attack. Okay, you, like, there's no reason to see the Aluris, but if you did, you'd probably see on the Seeker Chariot over the Exalted Seeker. Yeah. Exalted Keeper of Secrets, that's the Lord. Plus 30 charge bonus, plus 20 base weapon damage, plus 40 armor piercing, and then less splash attack hitting. Those are okay buffs. Those are okay. Keeper of Secrets was already fine with the AoE Rampage. Herald of Slaanesh on a Seeker Chariot. I had to remember who the Herald of Slaanesh is. Over doubled her damage again. So they realize the Seeker Chariot mounts suck, and they're just giving him massive damage profile buffs. Okay. Nakari! Probably my favorite Slaanesh Lord, even though he's not that great. He's fine. More damage, less entities hit by the splash attack, more charge, almost doubled his charge bonus. That could be good. I don't know if it makes Nakari like meta, but it could be good. Forsaken getting the same HP buff all the other Forsaken are getting, so they're up to 8,000. Fiends lost 800 HP. Oof. Damn, that's actually rough. Sorry, I was reading Anti-Kaiju's thing. Keeper of Secrets, that's the non-lord one. Got the same buffs as the other one. Just more damage, more charge bonus, less entities hit by the splash attack. Exalted Seeker Chariot got almost double damage. It probably still sucks, but I'll try it. I will test it for you, my friends. Hellflayers. More damage. Seeker Chariots, charge bonus increase. Okay. I mean, Slaanesh Chariots are just super squishy, and they don't deal a ton of damage, so we'll see. They did give them damage buffs. I am withholding judgment until I try them. Tomb Kings! Cetra the Imperishable on his Chariot of the Gods causes terror, and he got 30 more damage overall, plus 5 bonus versus infantry. That's not great. You're still going to take his kitty cat all the time, because the kitty cat has way more mass, and it's cheaper, and it also causes terror. So, no, I don't think you'll see any Chariot of the Gods. The buffs are welcome, but he needs a lot more buffs on that, or nerfs to his cat mount, otherwise you're not going to see it. Arcan of Black's Crypt Ghouls, so we're going to skip that. Carrion got 30 gold off, so another just a nice even 350. Love that. Eyes of the Desert got 50 gold cost increase. Chosen of the Gods got a 50 gold cost increase. Skeleton Archer Chariots got more missile damage, but not a ton. And then a campaign exclusive unit, so pretty minor touches to the Tomb Kings. That's okay. That's okay. I still think the cats need another looking at, the Khemrian War Sphinx and the Necro Sphinx, after the last patch where they've just been dominating everybody all the time, but yeah, it is what it is. Tzeentch! Exalted Lord of Change, 300 gold off the top. Ooh, that's actually kind of huge. And then less splash attacks as we're seeing across the board. Centaur Tzeentch got 100 gold cost increase. Forsaken Tzeentch got 700 HP tankier. Herald of Tzeentch on his Burning Chariot, which we never see, lost 100 gold, got 10 more damage in each profile, and then got 200 more mass. Alright, you're still never going to see the Burning Chariot. Iridescent Horror got the same treatment, and then the Burning Chariot of Tzeentch itself got the same treatment. Still not going to see that thing, it sucks. Vampire Coast. The Chariot of the Gods does 3,000 mass now. The chariot changes. Boris, yes, but the cat, if I remember correctly, the big Khemrian War Sphinx has like 5,000 or 6,000 mass. So it is like double that thing's mass. What the hell? Pass. Sorry, I was getting a phone call. Vampire Coast. Carronades and Mortars got plus 10 leadership. Big who cares? We'll take it, but big who cares? They still will die very quickly. Queen Bess got 800 hit points added to the giant cannon, and her crew got less hit points per entity, but her cannon got 800 more hit points. Interesting. Amenephis? Oh, sure, I'll start over just for you, buddy. Just for you, we'll start over for Amenephis. We'll start over just for Amenephis. We'll go all the way back to the top, just for him. Just for a benefit. Just for him. Alright, Beastmen, nerfed. Bretonnia, nerfed. Chaos Dwarfs, nerfed. Demons of Chaos, nerfed. Dark Elves, nerfed. Dwarves, nerfed. Empire, mega buffed. Grand Cathay, nerfed. Greenskins, nerfed. High Elves, nerfed. Khorne, nerfed. Kislev, nerfed. Lizardmen, nerfed. Norsca, nerfed. Nurgle, nerfed. Ogre Kingdoms, mega buffed. Skaven, mega buffed. Slaanesh, super nerfed. Tomb Kings, nerfed. Tzeentch, unplayable. And we're back to the Vampire Coast. You are all caught up. That wasn't true. You were wrong about a lot of things. That's actually the joke, is that I lied a lot. Aranus Assault Spite, plus 30 damage overall. Fine, but not going to make her meta. Rod Promethean got the same treatment. Sirens, plus 5 leadership. A lot of ghost units are trying to get tuned up, I imagine. Tide of Skilled, minus 50 gold for the ROR Tech Hands mob. That's such a... I don't disagree with the change, but it's such a random change. Yeah, whatever. You're still never gonna see them, but yeah. And Fellbats got 25 gold off. I don't think Fellbats are even worth 375. Hot take: Fellbats are worth like 300. Vampire counts. Zombie dragon. Okay. So all of these changes are every zombie dragon got 300 more hit points? Okay. It seems a little weird. Chillgeist got plus 10 leadership. Varric's Reavers got more charge bonus, but not a ton. Helman Gorst got 200 gold off his brother's Gorst corpse card. Huh. I wonder if you'll see that on Conquest or Domination where you have to hold a point. Maybe. Mortis Engines got plus 400 mass with the Chariot reworks. Hex Wraiths and Banshees and Cairn Wraiths got more leadership. Cairn Wraiths got 5, the others got 10. Crypt Ghouls, that is the infantry, not the giant monster. Plus 50 gold. But they got 700 hit points and 20 armor. That's not... I think that doesn't help Crypt Ghouls at all, personally. I mean, they were already terrible for their cost, and now it's like, they cost more, you gave them some buffs, sure, but I think this is a tiny buff. Like, overall, a buff, but still so tiny, you're never gonna see fucking Crypt Ghouls. Skeleton Spearman, 25 gold off is good. Fellbats, 25 gold off is good. Black Coach, ooh, that's a lot of changes. It got Strider, plus 10 leadership, plus 60 damage overall. It got flaming attacks. It increased its splash attack, which we've been seeing splash attacks go down this whole patch, so interesting that one up. Black Sides, Unholy Vigor, and Black Nimbus now scaled depending on the number of enemy entities that have been killed within a radius of the Black Coach. I still think this thing is garbage. I still think the Black Coach is garbage. I'll test it. I'm ready to be wrong. It depends on the scaling. But from what I know of CA, and I've been giving them a lot of feedback, and they're overall doing pretty good, all that stuff. From what I know about CA, those intensity scaling things take way too long to scale up. So if the Black Coach has to be in combat for like 5 minutes before it gets to like 90% intensity on these things, that's never gonna matter. Chariot buff, true. I'm just not sold, but we'll see. Vampire counts overall, I'm a little... I don't want to say disappointed. I'm a little underwhelmed. Disappointed is too harsh. I'm just a little underwhelmed. Because right now, this faction, at least in my experience, is the Lord heavily has to carry the entire game, and all of his units are kind of ass, with Vargeists doing okay. And then this buff is, let's make the Lord even stronger, and I'm like, great, so the Lord has to carry even harder. And then, like, some of their dog shit units got buffs, which I'm not against dog shit units getting buffs, but the problem is like, even their not terrible units need buffs. Like, I think this roster overall needs a big leg up, and then they need to bring their lords down a bit. Now, the vampire counts, I get it. Their identity is the vampire lord is super strong, and the rest is meh. But right now, I think the vampire lord is crazy strong, and everything else is bad. And it's like, I think all the vampire counts units need to come up a bit, and I think that their lord needs to come down a bit. I don't want to destroy the faction identity, but I think it's too imbalanced right now for my liking. Does the entities killed have to be from the coach? No, it has to happen nearby it. That's kind of thing with the vampires campaigns. Yeah, I know there's a delay. I don't remember how long the delay is, but that is for sure the thing, and I don't want to destroy their faction identity. The vampire lord needs to be super strong. I got that. But, like, right now I think it's too skewed, where, like, your lord has to do literally everything, and it's like, okay, come on. Can my super badass Blood Knights get some stuff done? Nah. Vampires need a DLC, though. They need a DLC pretty bad, because they don't have that many units. For being a Game 1 race, you look at the roster, it's actually really limited. Alright, Warriors of Chaos. Zarthoriel, that's a lot of changes. Plus 1,000 HP, plus 100 gold, plus 10 leadership, plus 11 melee attack and melee defense, more charge bonus, 10 more armor, 20 more damage, 30 more armor piercing damage, less splash attacks, and he got the Rock of Inevitability. Depending on what that is, that could be intense. But it looks like they're trying to make him actually more of a spooky greater demon, but then increase his cost rather than make him kind of limp. Interesting. Kolek Suneater got magic attacks! Let's go! That's actually pretty good, because then he can counter demons more effectively. Bilious Thunderguff, minus 100 gold for that Chaos Giant. Gorby's Chariot's got the same buffs they got on the Khorne roster. Marauders of Great Weapons also got 25 gold taken off. Chaos Warriors with Great Weapons also got 25 gold taken off. Exalted Hero lost melee attack. Forsaken got their 700 hit points buff for seeing across the board. Same with the Demon's Spew. Okay. So Warriors of Chaos just got some minor buffs. Mostly they got some stray buffs that other factions got, but Sartorial got a rework. Is the game balanced now? Kinda. Catholic? Nice. I don't know what the item is, but nice. Wood Elves! Ariel now leaves butterflies and flowers wherever she goes. Okay. Coadil is campaign only, but he got more hit points. Ancient Tree Man. More damage, more melee attack. Cave Bats is that. So Tree Man, more melee attack, more damage. Durthu. Cost increase. He got 1,000 more hit points, 8 more melee defense, and he got more damage? That doesn't seem smart. Durthu's already very strong. I don't know if Durthu needed that, guys, because that's a buff overall. I would pay 100 gold for 1,000 more HP. Plus 8 melee defense, and then 50 more damage. Wait, 70 more damage overall. Why is everybody so excited about the Durthu buffs? Durthu's already crazy strong. What? I disagree with you, chat. I disagree. Alright, Deepwood Scouts with Shiver Shards, plus 25 gold. That's pretty whatever. I don't think they were that oppressive, but alright. Wildwood Rangers. Damage is about the same overall. Melee attack down 8, but they got Stalk and Vanguard. That's going to be kind of cool. 14 bonus versus infantry, and then they got Guardians of the Wildwood reworked. They used to have to forest camp to get it done. Now provides general melee stats when a terror causing unit is nearby. Okay, so they're doing the Witch Hunter thing. The Witch Hunter special ability where when a terror-causing unit is near him, he got plus 10 melee attack, melee defense. Interesting. Chaotic Blizzard, yes, it is Christmas season. You might be onto something. Wardens of Sithril got the same treatment as the other Wildwood Rangers, but they're the ROR. And the Wild Hunters of Kurnos, the ROR Wild Riders, got plus 50 gold. Cool. So that's it for the factions. Assyrians, let's see the abilities. Assyrians Incantation of Vengeance, the crazy strong Tomb King spell, got 1 Wind of Magic increase. Still going to be in every single Tomb King's game. Kraken's Pull lost 3 Winds of Magic. You might start to see it. Might. Dreaded 13th got another cast range decrease. So this thing's already... It's super close range, so... I have been telling Skaven players probably to stop taking the Dreaded 13th for a while now. I definitely think... You need to stop taking this spell. 100 cast range is really short range. So you can only summon it like around your Greyseer, like on top of him. And I don't think it's a worthwhile spell, personally. Okay, Flensing Ruin. Very, very strong spell. Definitely needs some nerfs. 1 Wind of Magic on the Undercast, 2 Winds of Magic on the Overcast. That's not going to change a lot. Now, before you say that's nothing, that is a 10% nerf on the cost effectiveness of Flensing Ruin Overcast. So, it's a 10% nerf. It's not nothing. But it's not a ton. Flensing Ruin is still going to be very, very popular. Black Whirlwind lost 2 Winds of Magic. That's just it's the spell that doesn't do any damage for the Skaven, just pushes stuff. So, still gonna suck. Arcane Unforging got cheaper, Mantle of Gorok got cheaper, Fiery Convocation got cheaper, Tempest got cheaper. Ooh, Tempest is actually already good, so that's huge. Curse of Hashit got a little cheaper, but not cheaper enough to make it any good. It's still worse than Spirit Leech in every way. Hellhammer got cheaper. The Maw got cheaper. Ooh, that could be cool. Toothcracker got cheaper, which I already took that spell, so it's a good spell already. Curse the Leper got cheaper, still sucks. Fleshy Abundance. It can no longer heal infinite things in a circle. It can only heal 4 things, like Earthblood. That's pretty huge for multiplayer. It stops Nurgle blobs from just forming on a point and sitting there and Fleshy Abundancing their whole army. Are there Brett buffs? I'm only here for Bretonnia buffs. Bretonnia got nerfed overall, yeah. Hysterical Frenzy, the Slaanesh spell. Longer duration and plus base weapon damage, so it's a decent nerf. I don't know, sorry, decent buff. I don't know if we'll see it, but it's a decent buff. Pavane of Slaanesh plus 2 Winds of Magic. That's a very popular Slaanesh spell, so that's a meaningful impact. Clean Magic. It now gives spell mastery if you cast on yourself, and it silences your enemies if you cast on them, with a slight increase to Winds of Magic. Interesting. I personally don't think you're gonna see Clean Magic ever, but sure. Might of Heaven and Earth still sucks, but it got a little cheaper. Talons of Night is still good, and it got a little cheaper. Transformation of Kadan got a little cheaper. That's the Manticore summon, right? Oh, Black Whirlwind is the damage vortex. Oh, Chaotic Blizzard, then that might be kind of good. I need to go see it again. Hold on. Because what's the Overcast? That's the one that matters. -1 off the Overcast? Okay, you're still not going to see it. The Undercast isn't good enough to bring. Grail Guardian should cost 8,000 of the static ability to win the game. Vindictus, I think you and I might see game balance a little differently. Just maybe just a little bit. Alright, Savage Dominion, that's the Cygor summon. It lost 3 Winds of Magic, so that actually at 15 Winds of Magic, summoning a Cygor might not be bad. Vindictus, I agree, but I'll get to that later. Vile Tide, that's the Beastmen cheap little pokey-poke spell for multi-entity models. Lost 2 Winds of Magic, going from 9 to 7. That's actually pretty huge. Like, that's a quarter increase. That's a 25% buff to the cost effectiveness of it. Daemons of Chaos got +1 Winds of Magic. Oh, that's the Undercast too, so that spell's fucking dead. He said, kidding. Vigor is actually a huge change. Regrowth, it went from 5% Vigor to 1% Vigor given back per second. That is actually huge. I'm so curious what that ends up affecting units for. Like, because the thing with Regrowth is it used to be if you overcast it on something, even if that thing was in melee, you could take it from exhausted to fresh, pretty much, with an overcast. And that was wild, because Vigor's not like the biggest thing, but it is still a stat buff across the board, so it's, I don't know, Regrowth is just crazy strong. So this is actually an interesting way of doing it. Because we see Regrowth a lot, and it's still very meta, so I want it nerfed more because I want things to be a little more balanced. But I will admit that there are a lot of counters to Regrowth, like fire damage. If you cast Regrowth on something inflicted by fire damage, it is a pathetically bad spell. And I get that, but it is still too popular. So I was kind of wondering how to even nerf this, and I think this is really clever. I don't know if CA came up with it or if Catholic Alcoholic did, but yeah, slamming down that Vigor regen is actually a really good way of doing it. Alright, Soul Blight, -1 Winds of Magic, it's fine. Piercing Bolts of Burning got a little cheaper. Wind Blast got 4 more damage. I don't know. Wind Blast is so terrible, I don't think that's going to help. It needs legitimately double damage for Wind Blast would make it usable. I wouldn't even say viable. I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't say viable. Doubling Wind Blast damage would make it usable. Is that terrible? Banishment got a little cheaper. Night Shroud got a little cheaper. I think that's the Night Goblin AoE invisibility thing. Gehenna's Golden Hounds now changes direction in 360 degrees, meaning it mostly stays in the same area instead of going in a line. Oh, that's interesting. It's a little more reliable for blob punishment, especially in campaign. Balthazar Gelt's campaign just got a lot better. Imagine throwing down Searing Doom on almost no cooldown, but you can also rely on Gehenna's Golden Hounds not to be garbage. Which factions have the best buffs? We'll figure that out in a second. Glittering Robe got a little cheaper. Curse of Years. Ooh! Curse of Years gives silence now. That could be big. If you throw that on the enemy caster just as you're diving them, they can't use, like, net or regrowth or anything to save themselves. I could actually see Curse of Years being put in. Invocation Hack, Curse of Years, and Zombie Summon on, like, the Blood Dragon Lord. You'd want to use it on a Lord that can punish and melee themselves. Like, it sounds cool, but it's not good enough to, like, use it to support Blood Knights or something. You would want to do the job yourself. Like, your dragon needs to land and one-shot the caster while it's silenced. Gaze into Gash got increased. Wasn't that earlier? I swear we talked about Gaze into Gash already. Clean Magic might have had an Earth. I guess we didn't. I thought we did. Cool. Enfeebling Foe campaign thing? I don't care about that. Blazing Body, unit ability for Cathay. The Cathay Destroyer. It takes less time to charge up in melee. That's really good. Shield of Chakwa, increased effectiveness range. Omen of Hope. I don't know what that is, but it now gives vigor back. Right above regrowth. Got it. I don't know what the Wake of Fire is. Giver of Furious Glory. That's the Norscan Mammoth. Giver of Furious Glory? Or is that the Mammoth? No, it's something else, because Giver of Glory is the Mammoth. So the Norscan War Shrine Mammoth now has an AoE Vigor regen. Whatever Giver of Furious Glory is apparently gives 15% ward save. Huh. Dark Renown is Drazoth's special ability. I don't know what it does, but it apparently targets himself. Patch go out probably tomorrow. Killing Fire just got double its amount of direct damage, which I think that's the Chaos Dwarf passive for their spellcasts. Aura of Agony, Aura of Ardor is always activated instead of only being activated in melee. Don't really know what that is. Wow. Sour Discharge, whatever the hell this was. Is this the Arwar Pink Horror ability? Whatever it is, it lost so much armor piercing damage, and it got a bit of it back in base, but it lost a lot. Khorne War Shrine? Yeah, okay, well then the Khorne War Shrine now gives 15% damage resistance. Which is insane. Dwarf Rum, -5 melee attack instead of 10. Flame Incarnate goes from 2 uses to infinite. I don't know what Flame Incarnate is, but it sounds a little spooky. All the locuses got increased effectiveness range, and the Khorne one got -1% spell resistance, which is pretty funny. But all the locuses just got increased effectiveness range up to 55%. Arrow of Kurnos got less penetration. Hounds of Orion, same treatment as Gen as Golden Hounds. Guardians of the Wildwood, we covered it before. But it looks like they get plus 25% damage, plus 10 melee attack if a terror causing units in range. Interesting. Thoric's Rune of Hearth and Home got nerfed again. I love how often they're nerfing this thing, and Thoric is still the best lord. Rune of Hearth and Home gives -1 vigor per second instead of -3, so it charges your vigor like a third as quickly. Is that a meaningful nerf? Overall, yes, but the biggest problem with Thoric is that he's on a roster that shouldn't have casters. He is a caster, duelist, tank, cheap support lord. Like, he has too many things. Take away some of the things, and they're like, listen, 4 patches in a row, we're gonna keep slowly nerfing his vigor regen aura, and you're like, bro, I'll take it, but that's not what we're talking about. Like, honestly, take away his armor piercing. He doesn't need it. Because here's the thing, you might get mad at me, you'll be like, well then Thoric will suck. No, shut up, hold on. Why would you take Ungrim or Grombrindle if Thoric also has armor piercing? Thoric and Grombrindle and Ungrim Iron Fist don't provide AoE buffs. They don't provide AoE ITP. They don't provide Vigor Regen. They don't have spells. They don't have Rune of Wrath and Ruin or the Rune of Slowness or any of those things that Thoric has. So there's no fucking reason to take him if Thoric is also an armor-piercing duelist. There's just no reason. Make Thoric cheaper, take away his armor-piercing. Just make him the support lord. And yes, you would decrease his cost. I agree with that. But like, he's too good at everything. Give Ungrim and Grombrindle a reason to be taken. If I want to fuck up your day, I want to take the 2 giant dual-bladed axe dwarves that are here to fuck up your day. I don't want to keep taking Pansy ass on his rune of doom, his anvil of doom, to also fuck up your day. Like, just make Thoric cheaper and make him the support guy. Make Grombrindle and Ungrim honestly cheaper, because they're overpriced for what they do, and make them the fucking monster killers. Oh. Now I have to take... Oh no, now I have to take a half a dozen AP Dwarf heroes. Yeah, there's also a bunch of AP Dwarf heroes. Like, I don't know. I think that's what they should do with Thoric. And yes, I acknowledge. I'm not just trying to say nerf Thoric into the ground and leave him, but he needs an identity. He needs a reason to take him. Because right now, there's no reason not to take him. He does everything. So it's like, all right, make him cheaper, but make him do like one thing. Anyway, I'll move on. These 3 are all the black coach buffs. It just says that they get they get charged up when enemies are killed. So there's that. And now Black Scythes gives 50% base weapon damage. Anyone got the links to the patch notes? There you go, buddy. Oh, what is this? The Ark of Sotek. Jungle Swarm and Sotek Sanctum, whatever, but we're mostly caring about the Ark of Sotek. But it's being applied separately. Means stack of regular poison. Oh, okay, cool. So the Ark of Sotek hasn't been doing very well in Warhammer 3. It used to be pretty good in Warhammer 2. So they're changing it from being this position on the ground where if it touches you, it applies damage to your whole unit, but it's slow damage. Looks like they're going to do a Vortex, which does more damage in a concentrated space, but also it applies a second special poison, which the Bastiladon applies poison when it attacks you, and the Ark of Sotek applies poison when it hits you with this, so it's actually going to double poison you, which is huge. You'll lose 30% speed, 30% missile damage, weapon damage, arm-piercing weapon damage, so that's kind of huge. I could see Arks of Sotek being taken now. The problem was that Thoric was arm-piercing tabletop. He had the arm-piercing trait, and his magic weapon ignored armor saves. Was he fucking overpowered in tabletop? Because he's crazy strong in Warhammer 3. Alright, items. Blade of the Serpent's Tongue. That, I don't know what one that is, but it has a higher range and more charge bonus percentage, but that still looks like it sucks. Shield of Aeons is Gorok's item. It now gives everybody charge reflect. Still probably not good. Mace of Olmok adds dazed. Probably still not very good. Acorn of the Oak of Ages got double armor piercing damage. Dart of Doom lost all of its base missile damage, but got much more armor piercing overall. No explosion base, but it got more armor piercing base. Okay, so just trying to make it more armor piercing. Wintertooth Crown now gives no melee defense. Wait, it now gives melee defense. It has effective range of 55 instead of 35. So it makes everything around Throg, it's Throg the Troll King, it makes everything around him unbreakable and gives him melee defense. Am I understanding that right? And then the Flaming Axe of Cormac is the base Marauder Chieftains thing. It now gives 35% armor piercing damage, but still gonna be pretty bad. Alright. Winners and losers. Now, I'm gonna be serious. I did it last time where I went through and I just joked a bunch, but here's a serious, very, very, very short recap for everybody, and then I'll give my thoughts on the patch overall. Beastmen nerfed. Bretonnia nerfed. Chaos Dwarves buffed. Demons of Chaos nerfed overall. Dark Elves buffed. Dwarves nerfed. Yeah, overall nerfed. Empire buffed, which I have thoughts about. Grand Cathay buffed. Greenskins buffed. High Elves buffed. Khorne buffed. Kislev nerfed. Lizardmen buffed. Norsca buffed. Nurgle buffed. Ogre Kingdoms left alone. Skaven overall buffed. Yeah, overall buffed, but not by a lot, but overall buffed. Slaanesh buffed. Tomb Kings left alone, all things considered. Tzeentch Nerfed. I would honestly go with nerfed because the Centaurs of Tzeentch were so oppressive that 100 gold on them, honestly, for me, does more than anything else here. So I would say Tzeentch is either left alone or slightly nerfed. Vampire Coast buffed, Vampire Counts buffed, Warriors of Chaos buffed, Wood Elves buffed, because Durthu and the Wildwood Rangers makes up for the nerf to Deepwood Scouts and the Wild Hunters Kurnos. So there's overall each faction. How do I feel with the patch? The patch is good. I would give it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 patch. The Empire getting buffed, I have such conflicted feelings about, because while I acknowledge all of the units that they buffed on the Empire deserved buffs. All those units deserved buffs. They were good buffs for those units. But in a larger context, Empire was already massively overperforming. They were in the top 3 factions, Kislev, Dwarves, and Empire. There's a large argument about who is the best, but those 3 factions in land battles and conquest were so toxically overpowered that we have put limits on them in our tournaments. Where like the steam tank, the land ship, the thunder barge, those have been outright banned for like 5 months. Like, that's why you don't see those things. Why you don't see many of those factions in our streams is because we give people, before a set starts, each player gets to ban 1 or 2 factions, depending on who you are as a tournament host, right? And, like, Empire, Kislev, and Dwarves are always fucking banned. That's why you don't see them very often, is, like, they're just so goddamn strong. So, the Empire's in that conversation. And you take a look at the other 2. Dwarves and Kislev got pretty hard nerfed. Now, I don't think they'll be bad factions, but I think it takes them out of that top 3. And the Empire not getting any of its OP shit nerfed. Now, the land ship and steam tanks, you might point out, go like, well, they get hit in the back now. I don't trust it. I played Warhammer 2 and 3 enough to know that chariots, when they're moving, are impossible to hit, so I'll believe it when I see it. But ignoring that for now, the Empire didn't get any other toxic stuff nerfed, like, at all. And now a bunch of their dogshit units got buffed. It's like, okay, so Empire is the last man standing on the crazy overpowered factions. So you're never going to see Empire, because now there's no reason to ban Kislev or Dwarves over Empire. There's only Empire. If a series goes by and Empire wasn't banned, both those fucking players are trolling. So I don't know. Like, you're never going to see the Empire in land battles. You're just not going to. Maybe Domination. Catholic Alcoholic is in chat. I don't play Domination, so he would know. And here's one thing I will say, is CA is trying to balance for campaign, domination, conquest, and land battles. They require different things, I get that. And they're overall doing a really good job. Now, I said this patch is an 8 out of 10. I'm not trying to be a little bitch here. There's a lot of good changes. A lot of things I talked to CA about got changed in directions I wanted them changed. I think overall this patch doesn't go far enough in nerfing some of the things like the Thunder Barge. I have been whining and complaining and throwing a hissy fit about the Thunder Barge in the CA content creator chat for a long time. Like, I've been like talking to CA and I've been like, I challenge any of you to fucking beat me on Dwarves when I have the Thunder Barge if you are Khorne, Norsca, or Slaanesh. Fucking bring it, brother, because you can't. You literally can't win that game. So, like, but they heard that and they nerfed it. Did they nerf it enough? No. But, like, this is so much better than the Creative Assembly I was talking to 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, where they would go, I'll take it under consideration, and then they would buff the Thunder Barge or something stupid like that, right? So they're doing better. I'm trying to be overall positive. I think the Empire changes, overall bad. Like, just overall bad. Everything else has been pretty good. Dwarves and Kislev, nerfed. Bretonnia, nerfed. And Bretonnia, we are gonna remove the Grail limit I've put on my channel, because I didn't like the content I was having to cast of Bretonnia. Just every game was 3 Grail Knights, that's it. So if you've noticed on our streams, people only take 1 Grail Knight, 1 Hippogriff or something like that. That's because of limits I put on it as a tournament host. We'll be removing those for these patch, and we'll see how it goes. So Bretonnia got nerfed, but they might get overall buffed in my content because I'm going to take off my limits on them as a tournament host. Right. So we'll see how that goes. But Bretonnia got nerfed, which is nice because we can stop limiting them so much. Beastmen got nerfed, Tzeentch got nerfed, so a lot of these top tier factions are getting nerfed a little bit on the Centaurs of Tzeentch, and the Pestigors and stuff like that. They're getting dragged down a little bit, which is nice. But the Empire specifically is just sitting up there, now at the pinnacle of this, and a bunch of lower tier factions got buffed. Now again, same as I said before, Norsca needed those buffs. It got great buffs, I'm happy for them. It needs more, it needs a lot more to be relevant, but like, it's the right direction. The only thing I saw in this whole patch, and it was a huge patch, was the Empire is the only faction trending in the wrong direction. Anybody outside of the top is coming up, anybody in the top is coming down. Overall, great patch. The two notes I have, I've repeated ad nauseum, is I wish some of the directionality had gone more, like some of the factions at the bottom need more of a push, and some of the factions at the top need more of a drop down. And I think the Empire went the wrong direction, but there's a lot of cool changes, a lot of exciting changes. We'll see how the Chariot stuff does. It looks like CA acknowledges that the Chariots blow and they need some help, but that is one where I go the other way and I say, take your fucking time. Because if you have played in the Chariot metas are some of the worst Total War metas. Chariots are such a buggy and garbage unit with how this engine works. Is if Chariots are the best unit in the game, you're going to get so frustrated. Because there's a lot of times where they can't get hit when they're moving, and maybe they'll fix that. There's a lot of times where they'll have weird hitbox things, so like, some games they'll do great, and then other games an Amber Spear will hit Tsarina Katerin 3 times and like insta-kill her, and you're like, wow, that unit that usually carries the game for me just instantly died. That's consistent and great. Because in a strategy game, you want things to be consistent. You don't want fucking jank. Like, you don't want that when you're winning either, because it's like, you can practice something, you can make a strategy, and then you're like, but a 10% chance this thing goes catastrophically wrong, and Katerin gets one shot by Amber Spear because it hits her 3 times. But what can you do? It's like, no, it's a strategy game. You want to plan, and you want to see your plan come to fruition. You never want dumb bullshit. And Chariots are full of dumb bullshit in both directions. So it's like, I appreciate that they're buffing them slowly. So that's fine. That is fine. We'll see how those changes do. Ryder has to be busting out a bottle for the Phoenix Guard finally buying TP. Yet. Chariot bug fix? No. They mentioned that that's something they still know about. The way Ica got nuked in the Halloween tournaments was nuts, yeah. So overall, the communication with CA is going back to the good times. They're better than ever. It's better than I've ever been, but I entered the content creator scene towards the end of Warhammer 2's lifetime. So I wasn't there for early Warhammer 2. But yeah, no, CA have been super polite to me. Since kind of, I call it the big fuck up. Since Shadows of Change came out, the first one, not the update, remember. First Shadows of Change came out, they increased the cost, they decreased the content you were getting. A lot of the content came out half-baked and honestly idiotic. Like, the original Mother Ostankia was stupid. It was just terrible, terrible design. The original Incarnate Elemental Beasts, terrible design. Like, so much about that DLC was fucked up. And then the community got rightfully mad at them. CA had a bunch of layoffs, which is unfortunate. You know, you're never happy about layoffs. But, like, a whole bunch of bad shit happened. And then January of that year, they're like, listen, we're releasing a free upgrade for the Shadows of Change to make it more worth your money. We're fixing some of those dog shit units. And then Thrones of Decay came out. And Thrones of Decay, I think, was fairly priced. It had a lot of content in it. A lot of the campaigns were more well thought out than the Shadows of Change. They still had some of those units that were dog shit, like, designed for multiplayer. But I acknowledge, as much as I'm a whinging multiplayer streamer, and I know that, I also acknowledge that this game makes most of its money off campaign. So if you want the Thunder Barge in there, if you want... what else is dumb? The land ship, the steam tank, I think those are fun for campaign. Those are great for campaign. Get all your campaign players. But I think you need to balance them in multiplayer. Fucking jack up that cost. No one gives a shit. Like, no one cares if the multiplayer cost is super high compared to your campaign. Like, no one in campaign is like, oh, my campaign is ruined now because the Thunder Barge is 4,500 gold online. That doesn't matter. So I think you need to jack those up. But whatever. Like, that's not the point. Sorry. So, Thrones of Decay, they brought back the pricing, they brought back the content, much more smart. The only thing I still complain about is they have some units that are, like, integrally bad for multiplayer. Like, they just can't be balanced. I can't imagine a scenario where the Thunder Barge is fun and interactive. It's either too weak or too strong. So, that's my only complaint there, but, like, they made this new Discord where content creators are talking to them, and we've been having a lot of back and forth, and they'll push back on some things, you know, where they'll be like, well, that's not viable because in domination mode that unit is struggling, so we can't nerf it in land battles, and it'll be even worse in dom. Or in campaign, people really like that blank is overpowered, so we're not going to nerf it because who cares? Like Spirit Leech in campaign isn't that good. It's fine, but it's not the big, sexy, amazing spell that it is in multiplayer. In multiplayer, Spirit Leech is all over the goddamn place. In campaign, you're holding on for Purple Sun, so you can punish blobs. You're holding on for Fate of Buna, so you can like delete a really strong unit. And then like you use Spirit Leaf to clean up a lord in the late game or something, but it's not as big of a deal. So that was a very, very long way of saying like, overall, I'm seeing things get a lot better, and I'm legitimately excited for the next DLC. I think the next DLC will be fun. I'm predicting there will be 4 or 5 units that are terrible for multiplayer balance, but I'm also predicting that it's going to be a very fun DLC, and I think it'll be thought out from the campaign side. And this is not me being a CA shill, because Shadows of Change on release, dog shit. Fucking terrible. Shadows of Change after the update, it was fine. Thrones of Decay, pretty good. Some ill-advised stuff. Like, I'm not a type of person to be like, CA is the best ever, CA is great. No, Warhammer 3's launch was terrible. Warhammer 3 was a terrible game for like a fucking year. Like, CA shit the bed so hard. But when they do good, you have to tell them they do good. And when they do bad, you tell them they do bad. If all you are is mad all the time, then they're gonna stop caring what you have to say. Like, that's just a general thing. And like, this goes for people in my comment section as well of my videos. If every time I see your name, you're just bitching, I don't give you credit for the times you didn't say anything. It's like, well, that replay was good and that casting was good, so I just didn't post. I'm like, dude, the last 5 posts I got from you were you just yelling at me and then silence. As far as I know, you're a dick. Like, that's all I know about you. So if something is good, say it's good. If something's bad, say it's bad, and then people will take you seriously. So, you know, CA's been killing it recently. And they can always fuck up again. And if they do, we'll tell them they fucked up again. All right? Cool. If you care, on our server, where is that thing? Season 7 of the Vermin League starts whenever this patch drops, right? If you don't know what the Vermin League is, it is our best of 3 matchmaking bot on our Discord. We have a leaderboard that I just reset because we're starting a new season, but it'll track how many games you've played, and your wins and losses turn into points, giving you ranks. At the end of the season, as people play best of 3s throughout the season and get ranked, we host a playoffs where we give various champions, you know, like we have Skaven Slave through Gracier, so you'll get put in a playoffs of people around your skill level throughout the season. And they get various pieces of artwork, which if I scroll up, we can probably find. Yeah. Sipa won our Gracier finals, so he got multiple images done, so he got a bunch of these. They were plushies we had for a different tournament, but he got them in art form. And there's another one somewhere. Ryder of Rohan still owes me art from his win, but he's the one who won, so whatever. Oh yeah, Kaiju got the Azazel, didn't he? There he is. Kaiju got a custom Discord emote, so he got Clown Azazel, so now he just comments that under anything I post, because he's funny. So we have prizes. We have fun. If you want to play multiplayer, want to have a good time, hop on in. It's a good time to do so. Also, if you're not that interested in all that stuff, we also have the best of 1 practice pit. It's just pretty much quick battles, but you're playing with people in a Discord that won't be a dick to you. And if you're worried, hey, if you out there, you're thinking about joining tournaments, but you're like, hey, you guys have too many rules. What are all the rules about? I'll tell you all the rules right now. Right now, all the rules. You ready? Don't forest camp. Don't corner camp. Always be attacking somewhere with something. Not everywhere with everything. If you have a cannon firing, just 1 cannon firing, you're good. The rest of your army can sit AFK. Doesn't matter. Just try and damage the opponent in some way. You follow those 3 rules, you're good. You're golden. All right, the rules document looks super long. I'm just gonna go on this tangent because I hate when people talk about it. Look, it's 31 pages, right? There are 24 factions in the game. and they each have a cheat sheet. It is just like, if you don't want to read this stuff, you can skip to Beastmen and just see what this was telling you. So 24 factions just have a cheat sheet, and it's there for your convenience. It's not actually extra length. So 31 minus 24, we're down to 7 pages. Last page is the thanks page, so we're down to 6 pages. First page is a welcome page, so we're down to 5. And this page is just an overview, just saying like, hey, we're just trying to make games fun. Army limits are here for this reason. Rules of play are here for this reason, but it's not actually telling you any rules yet, so we're down to 4. You're down to 4 pages of actual rules. And a lot of it is just like stuff you can find on the cheat sheet. Like unit variants are limited to 8 per group, and then here's a paragraph telling you why that is. I mean, you can just scroll down to Beastmen, you can see variant max 8. So it's just on the cheat sheet. The rules really aren't that hard. I know they're imposing. But they're written this way to explain everything in case you have questions. But if you don't have questions, you can skip most of this shit. You can just be like, what are we doing? Okay, my Beastman page, I can take 4 dogs of that, I can take 4 dogs of that, I can take 8 dogs. Cool. It's done. That's all it is. It's not that hard. And also, if you sign up for... if you sign up for our weekly new player tournaments, I don't give a shit. When there's a rule break, literally the entire process is, oh, you shouldn't do that. Moving on. I don't overturn the match results. I don't kick you out of the tournament. I don't get mad at you. Nothing matters. So like, hop in. Hop in. What are you waiting for? Get into this fucking tournament. Play some games with us. We have one this Saturday. This Saturday at 7:30 p.m. if you're hanging out with us in the NA late night time zone. But next week, there will be one in the EU time zone. Week after that, back to NA. Week after that, back to EU. We got time zones for everybody. Time zones for days. Hop in. Play it. If you hate it, you lost an hour of your life. Whatever. Who cares? Go on. But if you love it, like all of us do, you're going to hang it on our Discord forever. You're going to make the best friends of your entire life. You're going to get thousands and thousands of hours out of this game because it's the best game in the whole world. I'm done pitching. I'm leaving. There's 166 of you. I hope you'll join me tomorrow. I will be streaming probably 6, 7, 8 hours on the new patch. I'll just be grinding out Vermin League Best of 3s tomorrow to celebrate the start of Season 7. So if you want to see some of these units in action, you can join us tomorrow early in the morning. Pretty much as soon as that fucking patch drops, I'm going live, right? We'll be streaming that all day. Hopefully you'll subscribe. I'm Humbo, yes. I host tournaments. I play multiplayer. I do mostly that. When I do campaign, it's usually silly shenanigans with my friends. I am not the biggest campaign bro. Not super big on domination or conquests. I'll cast fun events if they sound fun. I don't have a bias against it. It's just I usually play land battles. Did you say this Saturday? I did say this Saturday. Yeah. Is there room for the Saturday tournament? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We only have 5 signups. We could have 60 signups and there's still room for you. We could have 80 signups and there... No, there wouldn't be room. 79 is my max. If we get more than 79 signups, I'm fucking out. I'm done. That's all the promotion and shit I have. I'm done. I don't have anything else to add, so I'm just gonna... Everyone here is poo-poo. I mean, even if you don't want to play, we do have a Discord full of fun and awesomeness. Matchup discussions, general chats, we have cute pets. And Potato Salad posts rats all the time. Man's living on rats. What is this bear? Look at him, he's so cute! Look at how cute he is! Look at this bear! Look at this bear! Also, we have Lucinia, who hosts 4v4s quite often, so I mean, even if you're not a sweaty tryhard, you can find some fun events in this Discord. Get in our Discord! Look at this landing zone. Look at it. Look at it. Look at all these people hopping in. There's 149 people watching. We need 100 people in this landing zone, otherwise I'm going to be pissed off. Oh, Warzag joined us. What up, Warzag? I've noticed you in the chat. Alright, I'm leaving. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Is there anybody we should raid? Let's take a look around. Is Lich or anybody streaming? I don't know why they would be, but... Humeboy confirms CA shill. Know it. You fucking know it, bro. Here, go bother Teapot Total War. You're his problem now. Customize redirect. Boom. Go get him. Go get his ass.